This is day 154. Integrity requires a foundation. Integrity is often praised as one of the highest virtues. Heard somebody today said, we need to have integrity. Well, integrity, doing the right thing, being honest, staying consistent in your actions. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what is the right thing? What does it mean to be honest? What standard determines consistency? The truth is, integrity just cannot stand alone. It requires something deeper, a foundation. Without a clear foundation of principles, values, or objectives, integrity is just an empty shell. You may be consistent, but consistent in what? You may be honest, but honest about what? Without an underlying structure, integrity really has no meaning. Integrity without foundation is really just conformity. Many people believe that they have integrity simply because they follow social norms, corporate policy, or legal requirements. But compliance is not the same as integrity. If your behavior is merely a reflection of external pressure rather than deeply held conviction, then you are not operating with true integrity, you are just simply conforming. Integrity means standing firm on something, even when it's difficult, unpopular, or even inconvenient. And to stand firm, you need to know what you're standing on. Defining the foundation, therefore, is the main requirement. If integrity requires a foundation, then what should that foundation actually be? That is a question for the ages, and probably only one that it's probably only you can answer it. It begins with identifying your core values, those principles that you are willing to uphold regardless of external circumstances. Some people build their foundation on a religious faith, others on personal ethics, and others on well-defined missions or purposes. Regardless of the specifics, the key is to know your foundation. You must deliberately choose it, articulate it, and then internalize it. Without that kind of clarity, integrity becomes reactive rather than proactive. You may find yourself shifting with circumstances rather than standing firm with conviction. Worse, you may be deceived into thinking you have integrity when in reality you are just following the path of least resistance. This is living with integrity. Once your foundation is in place, integrity becomes more than just an abstract ideal, it becomes a way of life. It influences your decisions, your interactions, and even the way you think about success and failure. Integrity is no longer just about avoiding dishonesty and hypocrisy. It becomes the active pursuit of aligning your life with your values. But this alignment does not just happen. It requires constant reflection, self-examination, and, what I tend to think about the most, commitment. You must test your actions against your principles. You must ask yourself questions that are very tough, like, am I living in alignment with what I actually believe? Do my actions reflect my deepest convictions? Am I upholding my standards even when no one else is watching? There is strength in a well-built, well-kept foundation. The greatest test of integrity comes in adversity, when pressure mounts, when shortcuts present themselves, when standing firm comes with a cost. That is when you will discover whether your foundation actually holds. If your values are vague, borrowed, or unexamined, they will crumble. But if they are deeply rooted, deliberately chosen, and reinforced through consistent action, then they will sustain you. Integrity will not be a burden, but actually and potentially a source of strength. Integrity is more than just a personal trait. It is the manifestation of something much deeper. It is the visible structure built upon an unseen foundation. If you desire to live with integrity or have a business that has integrity, start by asking, what do I stand on? Because without a foundation, integrity is really just an illusion.